You just started your small business. You heard the government spends billions on contracts and you want in. You Google how to register on SAM.gov. You click a link that looks official. You put in your credit card. You pay $600. Somewhere out there right now is a founder who just did that. She posted on Reddit 2 weeks later, embarrassed, asking if she had been scammed. She had, because SAM.gov is free, $0. Always has been. If you're new to federal contracting, you need to know the cost, the myths, and the two regulatory changes from 2025 that nobody on YouTube is talking about yet. SAM.gov stands for the System of Award Management. It is a single official website where every business that wants a federal contract has to register. Full stop. No exceptions. It is run directly by the U.S. government at SAM.gov, and it is administered by the General Service Administration. Registration gets you two things you cannot get anywhere else: a unique entity ID called the UEI, which has replaced the old DUNS number back in April 2022. An active entity record that federal agencies check before they can pay you. FAR 52.204-7 is a federal rule that says agencies shall not make an award to any offer that is not registered in SAM. That is the whole game. No SAM record, no contract. Here's what I'm covering today. 1. What SAM.gov actually costs, which is $0. 2. What paid services are really charging you for with real numbers from real people. 3. The NAICS code myth that costs small businesses opportunities every single day. 4. 2 regulatory updates from 2025 that changed SAM registration process that no other YouTube video I found is talking about yet. 5. The one rule of thumb that will keep you from getting scammed forever. Recap at the end so you can screenshot it. Let's go. Point 1. SAM.gov registration cost is $0. Not $500, not $2,000, 0. Here's the exact quote from the SAM.gov entity registration checklist, published by the U.S. government itself. Quote, SAM.gov is free to use. There is no charge to get a unique entity ID. Register your entity and maintain your entity registration at SAM.gov. Unquote. That is not my opinion. That is the government's own instruction document. The U.S. Department of Labor page says the same thing. Quote, there is no cost to use SAM.gov. Unquote. The U.S. Embassy in India, which handles foreign entities registering with the U.S. government, publishes a specific warning on this. Quote, if you're asked to pay money to complete or renew your SAM.gov registration, be cautious. These messages are not from the federal government. Unquote. If you're staring at a bill for SAM registration right now, that bill is not from the government, ever. Point 2. What are people actually paying and what for? Let me walk you through the ladder of what I found in real Reddit posts from real founders this year. $600. A founder registering as a woman-owned small business on Reddit paid $600 by accident. She got a refund, but the post is public. $900. A prospective customer posted the direct quote from a well-known registration assistance company, who I'm not going to name, on Reddit. $900 is for hand-holding through the process. $1,500. A protester on Reddit shared that a company told them their service was mandatory to be visible to buyers. That is false. The price was $1,500. Imagine that. $2,300. Another commenter on the same thread reported the same pressure at $2,300. $4,000. A third commenter posted an escalation reaching over $4,000. And on Reddit, a founder was quoted $6,000 entry package and a $9,000 premium package by a consulting firm for what they called federal contracting help. $600 to $9,000 for a form on a website that the government maintains for free. Here's what those paid services actually do. They open SAM.gov in a browser. They fill out the same forms you would fill out. They submit them to the same government system. They do not have a special backdoor. They do not have priority processing. They are typing what you would type. If you want someone to help you the first time, that's a legitimate service. but the going rate for a couple hours of guidance is not $2,000. Just know the difference. Point 3, NAICS codes. NAICS stands for North American Industry Classification System. It is a set of 6-digit codes that describes what your business actually does. When the federal government posts a contract opportunity, it tags that opportunity with the NAICS code. Agencies use that code to decide who can bid and whether a small business set-asides apply. Here's the most common misconception I saw in the research. Founders believe they can only add one NAICS code to their SAM registration. That's not true. You can list one primary NAICS code, which is a code that best represents your main line of business. And you can list unlimited secondary NAICS codes. The Census Bureau recommends you list up to 5 to stay visible for opportunities you can actually perform. One founder on Reddit reported having over 25 codes listed. Not a mistake, deliberate strategy for visibility. 2 rules to keep you honest here. First, only add the codes that describe your work you could perform genuinely. Second, get the codes from the free Census Bureau NAICS lookup at census.gov/NAICS or the widely used NAICS Association tool at NAICS.com/search. Both are free, both are correct. Wrong NAICS codes are one of the top 5 mistakes that silently kill small businesses' SAM profiles. Per the Reddit community, if your codes do not match the actual work, agencies looking for your services will never find you. Point 4, 2 regulatory updates from 2025. This is a part I have not seen anyone else on YouTube cover yet. August 2025, the FAR Council clarified that the continuous SAM registration requirement. Before this clarification, courts and contracting officers were interpreting FAR 52.204-7 so strictly that even 1 day lapse in your SAM registration between when you submitted your bid and when the agency made the award could disqualify you. Founders lost contracts because their annual renewal happened to fall in the middle of a source selection. After August 2025 clarification, the rule is narrower. You have to be registered when you submit your offer, and you have to be registered at the time of the award, but the government is no longer treating short gaps in between as automatic disqualifiers. That is a meaningful reduction of risk for small businesses with tight administrative bandwidth. January 2025, the Federal Register narrowed the notarized letter requirement. Here's what that means in plain English. SAM used to require every entity to submit a notarized letter appointing an entity administrator. That is the person who controls your SAM record. Get the letter notarized, mailed, and process used to eat 1 or 2 weeks off of your registration timeline. The January 27, 2025 rule change narrowed that requirement, so a notarized letter is now only required when there is no entity administrator already on file. Translation: if you're registering fresh as a new business, you probably still need a notarized letter to appoint your first admin. If you already have a SAM record and you are transferring admin rights, you no longer need a notarization on your letter. That is 1 to 2 weeks of your life back. Both of these facts are dated, sourced, and current as of this recording. Links in the description. Point 5. The one rule that will keep you from getting scammed on this forever. If the site or email is not .gov or .mil and it's asking you to pay for SAM registration or renewal, it is not the government. That's it. That's the rule. Real SAM.gov emails come from .gov addresses. Real federal contracting communications come from .gov or .mil. Anything else asking for money to help you register, renew, or maintain your SAM profile is a third-party service at best and a phishing scam at worst. A law firm client alert from May 2026 confirmed active fake renewal emails and even a spoofed SBA page charging over $1,500 for services that are free. Bookmark SAM.gov, type it into your browser directly. Do not click links from the email that look official. If in doubt, close the browser and go to SAM.gov manually. Recap: 5 things every new federal contractor needs to know about SAM.gov. 1. Cost is $0. Period. Confirmed by a SAM.gov entity checklist itself. 2. Third-party services are charging $600 to $9,000 for what you could do for free. 3. NAICS, one primary code, unlimited secondary codes. Census Bureau recommends up to 5. Use census.gov/NAICS or NAICS.com/search. 4. 2025 updates, continuous registration relaxation in August, notarized letter narrowing in January. Both work in your favor. 5. Not.gov or not.mil and asking for money for SAM. Not the government, ever. Screenshot this, send it to someone starting a business, save someone $600. DeployReady is a platform I built after years of watching adjacent industry small businesses get filtered out of federal contracts by paperwork the government made freely available, but nobody bothered to explain. You register on SAM.gov for free, then you load DeployReady, and it reads the actual contract solicitations for you, tells you whether you should bid, and drafts a response. Not a scam service, a tool that starts where the free part ends. Free tier is enough to run one solicitation end to end, link in the description. Next video, the document that every one of those paid services will try to sell you right after they finish your SAM registration, the capability statement. Turns out it is a most single misunderstood document in federal contracting, and most templates you find online are wrong. I will show you what a real agency-ready capability statement looks like and why the version you probably have is invisible to buyers. Subscribe so you don't miss it. Drop this in the comments. What did you almost pay for SAM registration before you learned it was free? I read every one. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Please like and subscribe.